So I was on a book tour, and I was tired. I was really tired. And I was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I was at a school. I was toward the end of a week. And I was at a classroom, and this kid was in a desk for no apparent reason that I knew of. He was in a desk in front of the rest of the class. So he was at least 6 feet forward. And I was by the blackboard. He was there in the desk, close to me, and the rest of the class was over there, teachers over in the corner. So I was just talking generally, warming up the class, getting ready to engage them in story material. And as I was just sort of saying things, that kid just started to whip around in his chair. He had his foot sort of like a universal joint in the back ladder of his chair. And he was kind of reading my mind. I would start a sentence, and he would finish it. Sometimes accurately, sometimes it would be like Mad Libs, the way he would finish it. And I was like, this is such an unusual kid. At first I thought, he's really like, ruining the presentation. Then I thought, no, he's not. He's making the presentation to me that he's a really interesting kid. So at any rate, she starts spinning around faster and faster and faster, and then suddenly it all changed and it went backward on him. And then suddenly he got really scared looking, and then he realized somehow he had that moment, that present moment that, oh my God, I'm ruining everything. I've done it again. And then he just put out his hand and yelled out, "Teacher, teacher, I forgot to take my meds." And she pointed to the door, and that kid just shot out of that chair, just like a frozen rope out the door. And I just heard him go bam, 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 bam to the lockers all the way down to the principal's office. And I just thought, I want to go with that kid. And that night I started that book. Well, then I read a lot of books about kids that, are ADHD. And as soon as I finished reading them, I put them under the bed. I didn't want to read them anymore. I was more interested in him than the books. And so I learned that they're really smart, and I learned that sometimes their focus just splits out. And I learned that they're really good kids, which I didn't really have to learn because, I just assume all kids are good kids. And so they have great creativity, they have great smarts, and if you can give them direction and help them out, then you've got a great kid. So it's nothing to worry about, but it's something to be aware of. And no kid wants to be that kid. No kid is happy being the disruptive kid. They want help. And when you give it to them, it's a relief for them. Because instead of spinning in circles, they can go in straight lines. And they want that. They're great kids. Oh, they come up to me in school as soon as I walk in the door. "I'm Joey Pigza." They shout that out all the time. I just pull them in, give them a big hug. I'm like, "Sure you are, buddy." They're so good. It gave them a character, a hopeful, positive character that's full of life to measure themselves with and feel proud of.